you, Zimbabwe, for tuning into yet another informative edition of your program. This is Agricultural New Directions Agribusiness. I am Wadzanai Manyore. So in an environment like this one we are experiencing at the moment in Zimbabwe, most farmers and most individuals might want to enter into projects that will ensure a livelihood for them, projects that will ensure that they repay their debts and take care of their families. We are going to be talking of the Indigenous Chickens project today. To discuss this and more, I am joined by Mrs Mashazhu, a free-range chicken specialist located here in Zimbabwe. Miss Mashazhu, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Tichipinda muchirongwa chedu Miss Mashazhu, kuti munhu aite project inenge seinoyi, what does it take for an individual to establish a project like this one?
Yes. Need a determination. One has got to plan on exactly what do you want to intend to do. If you want to rear chickens, what do you intend to achieve by rearing those chickens, free-range chickens?
Yes.
Then you do your market survey for a better decision plan.
Yes.
And then you need to identify the resources which you may use, which are required. Especially, we can look at capital. You need capital for stock, restocking, to buy. Suppose you want to start with chicks, you can buy chicks, you can buy eggs, the fertilized eggs, you can buy the real grown-up chicks. Zatinoti mhuku dziya in Shona dzinenge dzatikure dzisinganetse kuzoita take care of, and you can even buy, you may have your own cocks, you can even look for hens, for layers which can lay, or you want to improve the breed, you can look for hens which are of good breed. You can even look for cocks in order to fertilize your eggs and your hens so that you can produce your chickens.
Okay. Now, looking at a project like this one and at a site like this one, you are in Harare.
Yeah.
Most people might want to say, we are in the residential areas. How can I have such a big project like this one? But looking at basic infrastructure that you would recommend for someone new who wants to get into this kind of project.
The basic infrastructure is the chicken run. You have to construct a chicken run. You have to have brooders, so that when they are still small, you can put your chicks in there so that you can warm them. Other than letting them roam with their mothers, you can put them in a brooder which is warm. You can look for a fence to put them for biosecurity reasons. And you need feeding equipment. You need water supply. I think basically, if you have got that one, those things, you are done. You can start. Yes.
Now, tichitaura in the sense of sustainability. Kuti project irambe zvichienda mberi. There are more factors. What kind of factors or aspects that an individual has to look out for if this project is going to be sustainable in the long run?
Yeah, for it to be sustainable, first we can see that you have to look at meat.
Yes.
Meat, everybody wants meat. And if it's chicken, it's edible by almost every household, every individual, restaurants, people, they can eat it. At first sight, you have to look at the Roadrunner project. Those, they do multiply. You can look at the multiplication factor of it, that they can increase in no time.
Yes.
And then you can easily have as many chickens as you want. For consumption, for selling, they do produce eggs.
Yes.
So you can have those eggs which you can sell, which can be bought by everybody for many dishes, and they are affordable. You have to rear those chickens for breeding, for various things. You have to have a stock.
Yes.
And then if your stock is so much, you have to dispose it.
Yes.
Suppose there is no money, you can do butter trade.
And
you can get stock feed to feed those chickens.
In exchange of the chicken.
Yes, in exchange of chicken. So that you can continue, there should be continuity to feed. You don't be stressed. You can get rid of those ones which are many to destock and remain with affordable number which you can be able to manage.
Now let's talk about the issue here. you've talked of butter trading as one of the tools or economic tools you can use for you to get something at the end of the day. Dzimwe nzira dzamungatarisa dzamungataura in an economic environment like this kuti imimi murambe project yenyu ichifambira mberi. Tikatarisana neeconomic environment yatiri, ndezvipi zvimwe zvamunoita imimi semurimi semuridzi wehuku kuti project yenyu irambe ichifambira pamberi?
Kuti project yedu irambe ichifambira mberi, tinokwanisa kunge tichitsvaga partnership nevanhu vanokwanisa kuprovide zvaunoda. Ngatiti isusu uri kuda kana mishonga, you have to partner nokuita ushamwari nana vet. You have to have ushamwari nema associations anoita zvepoultry production. Ipapo munopangana mazano, vanokuudza kune market, vanokuudza kuti mazuano pane zviri kufamba sei. Izvozvo zvinogona kukubatsira kuti project yako irambe ichiendera mberi. Munogona kuita ma-associations, vanenge chikafu chinenge chinetsa, chimwe chinoita chipa kuti mutenge chiri bulk. Saka ma-association imomo munounganidza mari dzenyu, munochitenga makawanda. And then kana uchida kutengesa huku dzako pamwe dzinenge dziri shoma, pane vamwe ma-organization anoda kutenga dzakawanda, you have to merge nemamwe vachona yawo motengesa dzakawanda. Pamwewo pane mamwe ma-companies anoda ma-license kuti unge uchitengesa, and then if you go through an association zvinokubatsira kuti unge uchitengesa huku dzako idzodzo.
Okay, thank you. There you heard it, viewers. We are talking of the Indigenous Chickens project. In an environment like this one, people might want to sustain their lives, people might want to improve their incomes. Join us again in the second segment of your program. Stay tuned. Welcome back, viewers, to the second segment of your program. This is Agricultural New Directions Agribusiness. I am Wadzanai Manyore. So we are talking of the Indigenous Chickens project, and I am joined by Mrs Mashazhu, a free-range chicken specialist. Now, earlier on, before we went to the break, we were talking of how to establish this kind of a project. Let's talk about the various breeds that are available in here and the advantages that come with each breed.
Okay, in Roadrunners, there are various breeds.
Yes.
Here, as you can see, we have got black ones, which are called black Australorp.
Yes.
These ones, normally they call them heritage birds because they've been there for a long time, ever since from the fathers of our fathers.
Yes.
And the good thing about this breed, it doesn't change like others. They maintain their breed for a long time.
Their genetic setup.
Their genetics, yes, they've got a genetic setup. They have weight, they've got mass.
Yes.
The hens, they are prolific layers. They lay a lot of eggs.
Okay.
In such a way that if you want to go into this project, you have to multiply your stock quite quickly because they do multiply, they do lay. Apart from those ones, they've got a hard meat, and which is tasty, which is really gamey-like.
Okay.
And then we've got another breed, which is a little bit black and white, which is called a kukuku.
Okay.
And some people, they call it Plymouth Rock. And originally, our forefathers, they used to call them matendeni.
Okay.
They grow big. They are very good at meat. The good thing about this kukuk, when they produce, they mostly lean to cocks. Machongwe enyama ndo paanonyanya ndo zvadzakanakira, but dzine flesho, dzine nyamawo, very tasty. They are good for the pot, and even for laying, they are very good. They can lay a lot of eggs. They are not compromised in a lack of food or lack of feed or anything. At minimum feed, they can continue to give you some eggs. We have got white ones, which are Legons. Those ones, they are prolific layers as well. They follow after the Australorps. They are good at laying, and the meat is nice, good. It's quite good, and it's tasty.
Okay.
And there are others, mixed breeds, which you can cross-breed across all these ones in order to come up with a a better breed, a bigger one.
Okay. Now, as we move on, let's talk about the various markets that are available. The markets that you have as you are in this project.
In the project, as we say that you have to do market surveying. After market surveying, you can see who really likes this meat, and you'll find that the meat is required. There are households, they really like our chicken meat. Everybody is edible by everybody. You can sell your eggs again to households. We have got restaurants, they really like this. Like now, people are leaning towards healthy eating,
Yes.
and then they like healthy meat. The good thing about this meat, it has got no fat, it's fatty free, and it's tasty. You can just boil it and put salt, and you are gone, and
Yes.
you can taste it,
Yes.
and it's nice. We have got hotels. Again, in hotels, they really like it.
Yes.
We have got some people who will be doing activities which are different, anniversaries, weddings, and whatever. They want to make people enjoy the taste of this indigenous chicken, which is a rare dish.
Yes.
And then they will come for it. We have got supermarkets as well. Now they've got a trend that they want to include it on their package of the meat shelf.
Yes.
They want to sell this roadrunner chicken, the indigenous. And we've got organizations again. They do come, but organizations, they want them alive,
Okay.
grown ones, a little bit grown, so that they can empower rural community
Okay.
with those chickens. They will
Okay.
come for them. So the market is there, it's readily available, and we can't finish it up.
Yes. Now let's talk of rearing the chickens. These chickens, I understand maybe the common variety which most of us Zimbabweans rear is the broiler chickens.
Yes.
Obviously, there are differences. What could you cite as the differences between rearing broilers and going for the indigenous chickens? Obviously, there are advantages associated with that. What could you maybe cite as such?
Yes, for the broiler, the advantage would be that it will take about 6 weeks. The opposite of this free-range chicken, the indigenous, it takes 6 months for
Okay.
it to be mature,
Yes.
which means there's a longer period. But the advantage, as we say that, for a road runner, there's a cock and a hen. You
Yes.
can rear it like that, and then it will give you chicks,
Yes.
which will grow and multiply and make your flock bigger.
Yes.
And then this one is easy to keep. It's easier than roadrunner. Why do we say it's easier? You don't have to feed it as you do to a broiler. It's a free range. It does range on its own. All you have to do, you put it in a shelter, and then you open the shelter. When you open the shelter, it goes out and roams about. It scratches. It can feed on scratches. It can feed on grass. It can feed on insects. It can feed on worms. It can feed on anything which is edible, which is food, so that you don't have to worry much about the feed, the
Purchasing feed and stuff.
Yes, it
Yes.
scratches and then feeds itself. Thereafter, when it is let, it goes back into the
fowl run.
Yes, they
Yes.
go back into the fowl run. You don't have to worry. You only have to close the door to protect them against the predators like cats, wild animals, and other things, and dogs.
Yes.
Otherwise, you would either leave it roam about even for the night, but for the sake of security, you just have to close in the shelter.
Yes. Now, viewers, we are going to go on a short commercial break. We are talking of the indigenous chicken. We'll be right back with this and more in the third and final segment of your program. Stay tuned. Welcome back, viewers. We are in the third and final segment of your program, Agricultural New Directions Agribusiness. We are talking of the Indigenous Chickens project, and I have taken the liberty of inviting Mrs Mashazhu, a free-range chicken specialist located here in Harare. Now, before we went to the break, Mrs Mashazhu, we're talking of the differences between rearing a broiler chicken and the free-range chickens. Maybe moving away from that a bit, let us talk of maybe supplement feed. Maybe someone wants to give their roadrunner chicken supplement feed. what are we looking at? What does supplement feed do to the chickens? Does it enhance the quality of the meat, or does it enhance that is maybe make the growth rate rapid? What does it do? The supplement feed?
Yes, naturally, the roadrunner is supposed to feed on its own,
Yes.
to roam around, to look for insects and whatever. Suppose we look at this space we have got, there's no longer green vegetation, even insects, they are scarcity, so we have to give them supplement feed.
Yes.
But if we give supplement feed, we have to stay close to their feed. They enjoy grains, full grains like munga, millet, I think it's the millet,
Yes.
and mafunde. So we have to look for something which is almost like that.
Okay.
Even the maize, we can crush it a little bit, not to make it powder,
Yes.
like for broilers. No, it's just a little bit crushed so that they can pick it up, they stretch it, and then when we feed, normally, mostly, it's preferable to feed them on the ground so that on there you can even pour a little bit of water, and then insects, they can come and worms come up to give them supplement on top of that of worms and maggots.
Yes.
Yeah, so the supplement, yes, we have to look for something which is like soya milk, and then for soya cake, the sunflower cake.
Okay.
That's where we can get protein. The supplement requires say protein, and then we have a starch for energy. I think that's basically what they do require. But normally they need again the grit,
Okay.
the soil to help them digest, being roadrunners.
Okay.
And then they have to learn to scratch. They are used to do that.
Yes.
So we have to provide them somewhere where they can scratch and exercise their natural way of feeding and scratching.
Yes. Now let's talk about the markets. We understand that markets have certain standards that they require if you are going to be selling your roadrunner chickens to a hotel or to a supermarket. They have certain standards that they require. Let's talk about those standards, maintenance of quality when it comes to your designated markets.
Yes, when we talk of those, the quality integrity is the four principle which we should maintain.
Yes.
We don't have to sell chickens which are sick.
Okay.
Suppose there is a disease outbreak, and then when you see that your chickens are now sick, you start slaughtering in order to send to supermarkets or even to individuals. That's not proper.
Yes.
And then the meat will not be good, and then you will spoil your market. They won't like it, and the taste will be different. The healthy chicken, you can taste it, that this is a real chicken, and then the meat is good. And then it has got to be done, kept properly on a proper place. When slaughtered, they need to be washed properly and drained without blood and be frozen. And in fact, it should be meat which should be appetizing, so that even one can even fulfill the appetite through eyes,
Yes.
seeing the meat that is good.
Yes. Now let's talk about this aspect where some people who are into the Roadrunner project might want to take a shift from the normal feed that these chickens are used to, and they might want to give artificial feed to these chickens, maybe trying to increase flesh or whatever. What are your sentiments on that?
Yes, I think the artificial feed, it might look like it increases flesh. No, it does increase fat.
Okay.
And then it won't be like a roadrunner. It doesn't taste like a roadrunner. You know, when they exercise, they shed off fat.
Okay.
And then the flesh, the muscle is expanded, it grows, and it really tastes gamey.
Yes.
And like a real roadrunner.
Yes.
The feed, again, it compromises on taste. Suppose those ones which we do make, they've got a lot of artificial things. It doesn't work well with the roadrunner.
Yes.
It doesn't grow properly, and then it doesn't taste nice.
And
It will
sometimes
taste
it
like
even goes on to weaken the immune system
Yes,
of these
it
indigenous
does.
chickens,
Yes, it
which
does.
is used to having to scratch for everything.
Yes, it does.
Yes. Now let us talk about challenges that you encounter sometimes in this project. Not only in this project or at this site, but also even when it comes to marketing your project or your product. What are some of the challenges that one who wants to get into this product, this project has to look out for?
Yeah, for the challenge like now, there's economic instability.
Yes.
When we say economic instability, it does affect everything. When you sell, the money which you invested in rearing these ones, they take a longer. The longer you take, you have to look for supplementary feed in order to feed them, and they will feed a lot. You put a lot of money, and then when you sell, the money which you receive by selling, let's say $1, you won't even go back and buy some more implements. You don't have, it won't be enough to buy even vaccinations.
Yes.
It won't be enough even to add on feed equipment.
Yes.
So it's a challenge on that one. And then at times you don't have the space to restock so that you can supply. You know, you have to sell a massive volumes in order to realize to recognize some profit.
Yes.
To realize some profit, you need to make a sell to produce in a mass or a massive production.
You have to sell in
volumes.
batches.
Yes, even push volumes, but without space it becomes very difficult. The period to rear these ones, they are too long.
Yes.
In such a way that you spend a lot more than what you will get. So if everything is normal, things will be fair enough.
Yes.
But still, I think there are many ways of going about it. Challenges, I think they pose an opportunity to look for solutions
and to be innovative.
Yes, and to be innovative.
To think outside the box.
Yes, to think outside the box, that you have to even the processing part of it.
Yes.
It will be really noble to sell the processing it.
Okay. Now let us talk about viability in terms of profitability.
Yes.
How profitable is this business? Let's say someone who's watching this program says, "Oh, I have envied what she's doing. I want to get into this kind of a project." In terms of profitability and viability, when can one start to realize his profits or return on investment?
The business is viable.
Yes.
Suppose you follow the procedures, and as I said about integrity, you have, suppose things get difficult, you start to look for loopholes kutsvaga kujingirisa kuti regai ndingoita huku dzikure.
Yes.
Kana kuti ndinombotorawo mabroilers.
Yes.
Kana ndanzizvo order yangu ndiri kuda order yakati ndaona kuti yakura ndinonotsvaga mabroiler
ndowedzerera imomo.
kana ndotsvaga ma-off layers ndosanganisa ndowedzera. Ma-off layers haasi maroderana, zvinenge zvakatosiyana. Even the meat taste inenge ichitori different.
Yes.
Saka izvo zvinokompromisa the viability, yes, and the integrity. And unotozotanga kuti zvinhu zvakaoma, but ndisu tinenge takanganisa kuita sei kuita mabusiness ethics angu anenge asina kunyatsokumira
zvakanaka.
Kana ndaita road runner, let it be, ndoita nemwoyo wangu wese, zvinoda passion, ndonyatsoita nemwoyo wangu wese, zvinoda commitment, zvinodawo futi kuti ndinyatsove disciplined.
Yes.
To do what I'm supposed to be doing and to do what I'm saying I'm doing.
Yes, and even expertise in terms of unyanzvi imimi.
Yes.
Wambaona makore adarika nemwaka yapfuura imimi muchiita project yenyu inoyi. Zvingani zvamungati madzidza pahuku idzi?
Panodzidzwa zvinhu zvakawanda. Pane mamwe atinoti ma-intrinsic values.
Yes.
Those ones haugoni kumabata. Zvinongozooneka pakuita nepaproduction kuti pane expertise, karuoko keexpertise karimo.
Yes.
Kanongokwaniswa kuitwa acquire by doing things.
Yes.
And experience nekureba kwenguva yaurikuita zvinhu zvachona izvozvo zvokuti umwe munhu akazoti abate zvinomuomera kuti aite, ende zvinoda passion nelove of what you are doing, uchiita nemwoyo wako wese, and then the returns will be great. Ende zvinokunakidzawo kuti uite uchinga uchinakidzwa nekuita zvinhu zvachona. You have to enjoy what you are doing.
Yes.
And then even quality, unobudisa quality yemaproducts ako akanaka, huku dzakanaka.
Yes. Zvetavakupeta chirongwa Mai Mashazhu, ndoda kuti titaure word of advice yenyu, shoko rekupedzisira kune vakatarisa in terms of kuchengeta huku dzechibhoyi.
Pakuchengeta huku dzechibhoyi, ihuku yakanaka kuchengeta nokuti haifudzwe. Haina kuti ndoramba ndichingonotarisa kuti yamuka yakadini, iri kurara parotota, iri kurara pazvatinoita nedzimwe dzakaita fanike mabroiler. Idzi inongobuda yongoita roam around. Chainongoda chete kungovharirwa mufenzi kuti isarambe ichingofamba ichiita roam around ichisangana nevanhu pamwe vanouya nezvirwere nezvimwe zvakadaro. Kungoichengetedza zvatinoti biosecurity, ukaiitira fenzi, that will be fine. zvinoda commitment, zvinoda patience, zvinoda focus. You need passion neproper planning, mabasic planning chaicha kuti huku yangu ndoda kuti iite sei uye ndoda kuita sei nayo. Ndikaona mai Mashazhu vane huku dzakawanda ndoti it's so simple, let me go and do huku dzakawanda kudai. Hazvidaro. Plan kuti unoda kuita huku here dzenyama, uri kuda kuita huku dzemazai here, uri kuda kuita chii chacho chauri kuda kuita. Ende kana waona kuti chii chauri kuda kuita wonyatsoakaya zvinhu zvakaunganidza, wonyatsoita uri focus kuti chii chandinoda kuita.
Yes, thank you. There you heard it, viewers. We're talking of the Indigenous Chickens project. I was joined by Miss Mashazhu. Miss Mashazhu, it was a pleasure having you with us today.
Thank you very much, Wadzanai.
Thank you. So from me, your host, Wadzanai Manyore, and the crew behind the scenes, have yourselves a fabulous evening. Thank you for watching.